Chapter 1. An envelope. When the skies turn dark, what do you do? Head on or loiter around? The convenience store's steel door groaned as Kieran opened it and stepped outside. The air was freezing, but not enough to fetch a sweater yet. Kieran sighed, seeing the dark night, knowing his boss would reach the station anytime soon. He always takes the 8:15 p.m. bus, some minutes after finishing his part-time job. Kieran pulled out his phone and turned it on. When is the bus coming again? He mumbled, scrolling through his phone. The city was bathed in bright neon lights from towering skyscrapers, with pleasure zones and walking hubs. Whichever one it was, none are places for the poor. Besides, a well-mealy man can't go spend thousands as a pleasure house unless he's the type who shoots hoops into the sky and gets paid millions for it. Returning his phone to his pocket and descended the stairway before the one-story store, Kieran mumbled, I rounded up too late today. Well, I should get to the bus stop within 5 minutes. The groaning of the door made Kieran turn around to see his purse coming out of the store. Dressed in a blue shirt and brown knickers with the vibe of a youngster. That's Mr. Blake's for you. The same man who had always refused to repair that damn door or change it. Maybe he was short on cash or just greedy. Kieran could solve any puzzle but that. Mr. Blakes said to him, one hand holding his waist. Hey Kieran, will you come to the store for some drinks tomorrow? I'll treat you to a bowl of chicken soup too. There it was, Mr. Blake's usual charm, the bright green. Kieran could recall some hot college girls around the store saying this 40-something man was cute. Maybe the green. Kieran agrees with that. But the facials, much like an ancient Satan imprisoned in the rock for decades. Kieran waved him off. Nah, I'm not doing that. Tomorrow is Sunday. I'm not asking you to come and walk, silly punk. The man nagged him. It was a daily song between them for years. Tomorrow is your birthday, isn't it? I just want to celebrate with you. That is, if you don't have any plans with Jackson and Saint. Oh. Kieran raised his brows as he mouthed that. Then it groaned so much Mr. Blakes was convinced to do the same. Besides, his smile was a sign of positivity and agreement. That was Mr. Blake's belief. But later, Kieran's smile faded. No, thank you. I've got plans. And with that, he turned and descended the stairs. Mr. Blake's muttered under his breath. That's silly punk. Before Kieran disappeared, he said to him, well, happy birthday in advance, Kieran. Just enjoy that Sunday anyhow you want. Get some girls fall like here. Don't drink too much though. Kieran waved high in the air. He replied without turning back. Thanks, Mr. Blakes. You're the best. Mr. Blakes couldn't help but smile. Kieran says he was the best. He was afraid he would blush soon. Turns out this silly employee of his has some good words in him. He replied, whatever, silly punk. Don't be late on Monday. Kieran later reached the bus stop, whereas the bus arrived 2 minutes later. He got off at Webnovel District Junction, his cursed neighborhood. Why Kieran would call it cursed was that it was a usual custom for thieves and criminals at large. No CCTV, broken street lights, and so much more. Maybe the government just forgot to fix them? Silly story that Kieran didn't want to listen to. But in spite of everything, Kieran always comes back late. Scared? No, not to someone who can't stop throwing punches in the air just as he sets foot in Junction's soul. Do you call that warming up for a fight or something? And yes, he was still doing the same until his phone rang up. Ha! Kieran muttered as he took it out and saw the color. He picked it up right away. His face lit up with a smile. Hey, how you doing? You bastard. When last have you? Just allow me say why I called first, please. The voice from the phone said, gentle and persuasive. The warmth in it made Kieran giggle so much he kept silent to let them speak. And that was Jackson, one of his two BFFs. Happy birthday in advance, Kieran. I called to tell you that before I forget, I know. Kieran completed the statement as he found a seat on a stone slab by the roadside. You're always a busy one, aren't you? There was no tightness in his voice. Even Jackson had never been able to do anything to anger Kieran before. Jackson exhaled sharply. Yeah, I can't lie. I'll be at the office again tomorrow and gotta handle Mrs. Doris' rounds again. Can you imagine, Kieran? She wants me to get my hands on a big short info whatsoever. Be it hiding in their closet to get cleanings of them. The fuck? Kieran chuckled. Not that it was funny, but well, because it was. Just date her already, punk. Jackson chuckled back. What are you talking about, silly? I'm not close to being her type. She has got Mr. Handsome, Mr. Cute, and of course, Mr. Mysterious CEO. Both of them laughed. I can imagine. You told me about them last time, Kieran said. Shortly, he got off the stone slab, brushed off dirt from his buttocks, and climbed the street. It was dark and very quiet. His footsteps were loud. Jackson asked him, the rustling of nylon following. As Zane called you, Kieran. Hey, bastard, what are you eating? Kieran queried, completely ignoring the question. Just answer already. Jackson muffled with food in his mouth already. And yes, I'm having some mandouts. You've got some at home? Not really, Kieran replied with a sharp exhalation. My snack rack is still full, so I can manage on some food for now. Help me bring some when you come in next week. Alright, bet. Jackson promised. See you, punk. Kieran said with a soft chuckle. Ha, Emelf. Do we really have to call each other names whenever we talk? Jackson joked and they both laughed. Then afterwards, they disconnected the call. Shortly, Kieran reached his apartment. It was on the first floor, having got one of the flats rented from working for Mr. Blake's since he was 23. The lock beeped as he put in his password and entered. Inside, the air was warm, tinged with a musky smell of male sweat. A large TV seated feet away from a table in the middle of the floor with unsealed cookies all over. Ah, what a day, Kieran mumbled, dropping his bag on the couch and heading over to the kitchen. He filled a glass under the tap and gulped it down. He walked like a ghost back to the living room and crashed on the couch. Two huge weights sat in a corner in the small dining table. Pictures of us women with only pounds and coffee figures scattered on the dining table. Kieran was that kind of person. Just that kind of a person. Yeah, that person. After a short nap, Kieran grabbed the remote from the table and switched on the TV. He watched his favorite series on Netflix, Black Mirror, together with some cookies made with dark chocolate. His favorite. The night was long until Kieran snored off. The remote dropped to the ground and a snake slumped over the couch's arm. The next morning, the first line of ray cast through the curtains, clear, pure white, straight. Kieran had rolled to the edge of the couch, still sleeping, and fell to the floor so much he jolted awake from his sleep with wings. Ah! His voice was deep, his eyes halfway closed. Then bang! He had a knock on his door. Kieran didn't check right away, but went to take a glass of water in the kitchen. He then opened the door, but to something he didn't expect. A brown envelope on his doorstep. Huh? Who left this here? He looked here and there in the hallway, but there was no one. He had no other choice but to take it inside and lock the door. Grabbing a seat real quick, he unsealed the envelope and looked inside without taking out the contents. A white paper and his brows creased. Is that a dollar note? Of course, Kieran would take the dollar note first. Same as he likes women, the same thing goes for money. His mouth widened when he took out the note, that he forgot he was even holding any envelope. Oh my God. Kieran screamed in shock, raising the money high in the air. It was $1,000. Kieran couldn't help but say wow while also smiling. It's a bloody $1,000. Putting it aside, he took out the white paper and rolled it up. What Kieran saw made his eyes widen.
The link of the book is in both captions and bio.